Okay. Looks like it's working now. Sorry about that. It just popped up saying that was not working. Well, hey everyone. My name is Kelly Musard and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you feel like you want to subscribe to it, you can. And if you feel that you want to share, I will say yes, go ahead, share this. So basically, in this tonight's video is all about why, and how it gets you nowhere. So, um, also in my description, it does have my website. If anyone wants to book a one-on-one session with me over the phone, and also I put my Venmo account in there. If anyone feels guided to donate to my calls here, um, which is basically awakening people into the heart and really healing you from your pain and trauma. So, tonight's session, little talk, is why. And what I mean by that is normally how we think is we always ask, why did this happen to me? Right? I mean, how many people can relate that you have asked if something went wrong as what you see as wrong? How often did you ask, why did that happen to me? And the thing is that why leads you to another why, which leads you to another why and another why and another why. And then you realize you don't actually get any answers, right? Because the real truth here is after you ask yourself the first why, the answer is given. We just don't look at that. We just proceed on to just start this whole why, and trying to figure out why, where you already missed the whole thing. So, biggest thing, why does something happen to you? Well, everything happens for you, not to you. We're here to go through pain and to go through trauma. That is why we're in the human body, which means that everything you went through, you were supposed to. If you weren't supposed to, it would have happened a different way, but it didn't. So we get stuck in the why. Why was I abused as a child by my parents? Why was I abandoned by my dad? And so forth and so forth. And we don't actually get anywhere with the why. We basically just keep living in our pain, and it causes fears to come back up into our heads. So the pain that you went through as a child molded every fear you have. So if you feel like unsafe, right? If you ever felt unsafe in your life, then that would mean that your fears would kind of always waiting for the other shoe to drop, always going with worst case scenario so that you will always be safe, because if you know what's coming, you'll always be safe. That's what the mind tells you. But in reality, that's not true. For one, we're all safe. We actually are. Our illusion of what safe is just an illusion of safe. If we're here to go through this stuff, then that means you're safe all the way. It's not safe of not letting something happen to you. And that's where we get stuck on. Least personally for me, that's where I got stuck on, was always trying to make sure I was safe and feeling safe, even though I had no clue what safety really was, because I wasn't shown that. So you live your whole life like I did. I lived my whole life trying to make sure I was safe, but I had no clue what unsafe was. So therefore, I was trying to predict everything that was going to happen and then get prepared for it if it did. And most of that stuff never came, never came to be. So I would always ask myself, why? Why did this happen? I was a big one on why did this happen to me, right? I was more on like, why did this happen? I must be a horrible person, right? How many people have said that? Um, and so forth. But the kicker here is that the why, all it takes is to one why. And then you listen and something comes immediately, which is actually the truth. It's your guides, it's your higher self, it's whatever you want to call it. But it comes and gives you that answer immediately. And then we miss that and we keep going deeper on why, on why, on why. And the real truth on why is perfect. If you were asking yourself, why can't I remember this? Because you're not supposed to remember it. It's actually that simple. Life is truly simple, and I'm here to show people and guide people to how simple life is. We're going back to basics here, not instead of knowledge, 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 do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and the body doesn't heal. Nothing happens, like little bits of shifts, but you're still feeling the same years later. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm stepping into the leadership role, because it's my divine timing. And I've lived through a lot of different roles in my life, a lot. And it was so I could relate to everyone else. But see, you sit there and you're not knowing as a child, you don't know any of this. You don't know why you're going through sexual abuse and then physical abuse and emotional abuse. You don't know why you're going through it. You're asking and wondering in your little child head of like, I must have did something wrong. And then you fill it in. I must have did something wrong. I must be bad. I must have wanted it. Any of that will go through your head, right? And the real truth is that you were supposed to go through that. And it's so you're going to be relating to humans on those types of levels. But again, you don't know that as a child. So tonight, it's more like I would like you all to let go of the whys. My model, what I do is I am allowed to ask myself one why and then listen to what my mind says, right? My inner child, because it will give me what I need. And then I go deeper on that. So instead of going, why did this happen? Why can I not remember anything? Okay, that happened to me. Okay, I think I need to go research this. Okay, why does this happen to tons of people? And then you just keep going with the why. And like I said, you're missing the whole thing there. You're actually missing all your answers, which is way back in the beginning with the very first why. So you ask yourself one why, and then whatever comes, you go deeper into that. So, perfect example. Tonight, I was doing, I was working on myself, my little Cal. I do this every day now that I talk to her with love and compassion because that's what she needed and she needs it from me. So that's how I'm showing up for her. And I've never felt, like I said, this good in my life because this is self love on such a deeper level. So I asked her one why. I asked her, it seemed like she liked to make sure that she had ownership of her things. So I asked my little Kel, my little kid inside me, we all have one, why is that such a big deal? And then I waited. And then she said, well, when we were little, mom used to donate our stuff, even if we didn't want to get rid of it, we had to. Because my mom believed we had too much clutter. And that's just something my mom has to go through. So, what that did was that created me to grow up and really take ownership of things. And for the longest, I didn't really have a lot of things. I didn't want a lot of things. I didn't know who I was to even know what I liked and didn't like. So then when I started really getting into one of my favorite things, which is crystals, they're all over my desk. They're also back there, the wings. I help people with crystals, and now I am selling crystals. So I asked my little self, little Kel is what I call her, and I'm like, okay, so you don't own any of them though, right? Everything has a soul. Everything has a soul. So I told her, instead of taking ownership of all that and having that control over that soul that's in the item, what if we call it a guardianship? That I'm its guardian and it is my guardian. And therefore, if something happens, or if it's time for that crystal or whatever I have to move on to someone else to help them, then I'll be able to let that go instead of having this ownership. So I had to go deeper on the ownership of it. And then my little child inside, little Kel, was afraid that someone would come in and take what was ours and that we didn't deserve all these amazing gifts that are coming our way. So those are huge, right? So the ideal here is having these conversations with yourself. You want to go deeper to figure out, why is the why coming up? Right? I mean, why is the why coming up? So then, as you realize your fear that is coming up, you can address it with your inner child, and then you can start to let it go. Because basically, the belief around it isn't really important, because the belief is just a fear around it. Her biggest fear was, if she didn't act like it was mine, someone would come and take it from us. But that's not the case. So I had to tell her, no one's going to come and take any of this from us, because we deserve this. We are working hard doing what we're doing so that we can enjoy this. And then that's what you have to start doing with yourself. That's how you really heal. So if you're really wanting to heal, that's how you do it. Right there. You have to go deeper within yourself and really get to the emotions that are there, and not just sugarcoat it or bury them or stick with just one emotion and don't write out all the other ones. It's literally pulling yourself forward, having conversations with yourself, and talking to yourself like if you would talk to a child. Because that's your fears. Your fears is your child. Your child went through at least one fear that it held on to, and it created all the fears with that one fear as the adult. So that might be a little bit more in depth to some of you, and that's fine. But also, this is something that I do on my one-on-one sessions as well. But tonight, I wanted to come in and address the why, and how it does not get us anywhere. It just gets you to go on another spiral that leads to another spiral that leads to another spiral. And before you know it, you're just spiraling down. And sometimes you even forget why you even started that path. Instead, I'm inviting you to go deeper. I'm inviting you to go within yourself. Talk to yourself, like really talk to yourself, and figure out what's going on. What fear is coming. And then have the courage to face it. Face your fear. Because everything around you can always change and will always change. But I will say this: if you're stuck in your same belief, like let's say money, if you're stuck in your same money belief that you're not worthy of money, that it's never enough, that energy is what you're putting into money, which means because money's just energy, it has to match whatever you're putting into it. So then it will come with lack. Has nothing to do with money. It has to do with what energy you're putting into it. All right. So once you start really loving yourself, I mean, that's step one, is start loving yourself every day. I don't care if you're in a relationship, not in a relationship. I don't care. Everyone needs to love themselves every day. Everyone should go in and talk to their inner child every day, basically. Whenever fear arises, that's your inner child. So, opportunity to go in and see what's going astray, to see what the little one is afraid of, and then talk it through it like you were loving, caring parent. Because we're all loving, caring parents to our little child inside us. But most of the time, we have actually been the abusers, like we've had in our family, have came and did the abusing on ourselves. And that's what I'm saying about how often do you put yourself down? How often do you call yourself names? And all of this. So, why gets you nowhere? One, why? Why am I doing that? Also, going back to my story that I had with my little self a few hours ago about the whole ownership of things and how she feels that she has to make sure that she makes them hers when she buys it because she's afraid that someone's going to take them. Another thing that little Kel would do is that she would give things away even deep down she didn't want to because she felt not worthy of having these things, and she felt kind of like a little bit of guilty, really, that she's doing so well if someone else isn't doing so well, right? Now, if you stop and think about that, that has nothing to do with you, right? If we stop and think about it, some other person's how they're doing has nothing to do with us. So again, she gave you the answer, right? Myself, little Kel gave me the answer. The answer was she felt guilty and felt that she didn't deserve the things. And then there is the core of not deserving. So then I just gave her a pep talk of like, little Kel, you do deserve everything that you get. We are living this life as Kelly just this one time. We had 39 years of worrying about money. And then when we hit 40, it shifted for us big time. We're never going back. It's not in our path. But now we get to dab in to the other fears that is coming up so that we get to heal them. And healing happens instantly, by the way, guys. Me just talking to my inner child, the healing happens immediately. Whatever I'm talking to her about, it comes and it immediately does it because I'm coming and talking to her like a loving parent, not someone going, "Oh, you stupid. Let's not even talk about that," or something like that. It's the love that she's always wanted and desired, and she's always wanted and needed it from me, nobody else. So I told her, that we will no longer give away things that we don't want to give away. I am like, it's okay for us to have things, and it's okay for us if someone wants something, but we are not ready to depart with it. It's okay for us to say no. So, another thing on that um, is there's the people that have the whole thing about items, right? Um, Having too many things. Um, what does that really mean, right? If you stop and think about this, we definitely judge hardcore ourselves and everyone around us, right? Until you start loving yourself, then you realize you're not judging other people. Goes hand in hand. It's quite fascinating. You should try it and then watch what happens. Um, but also, it's also about, oh, I lost my train of thought on that one. Hmm. Never mind. You don't get that. It just went out of the air. Okay. I guess I'm supposed to just keep focused on the why. Let me see if there's any more things about this. Why gets you nowhere. Let's see. Yeah. I think I covered everything really. I told you about like how we work in the minds, where why leads you to your get another why and another why and another why and just keep going with it. Um yeah, I think I might be done with this one actually. Um just remember a good exercise, ask one why and then that's it. Follow out the emotion. Go deeper, everyone. That's the key here. If you really want to heal yourself, go deeper. Allow those emotions to come out no matter what emotion there's in there. Don't be so afraid of the emotions. Just remember one easy thing, either A, you're going to get through it, or B, you're going to die. Those are your two options on everything that comes your way, good or bad. You're either going to get through it or you're going to die. So, plain and simple. Life is that simple. All right, guys, I'm ending it for tonight. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. But as I was saying last time, I definitely am going to get back into the rhythm of getting back on to my YouTube channel and doing that, um, doing these videos for you guys to help do this chaos that we have in the world right now. All right. And as always, guys, if you feel guided to work with me, my website is down in the description where you can book a one on one with me over the phone. All right, guys, I will see you when I see you. You all take care. And remember, one why, and then go deeper on that. You will get your answer and healing all together. Bye.